Hi guys, what is up? How you doing? My name is Sam. If you're new here, please be sure to click the subscribe button down below and the little bell because I will be making a lot more videos more often because I have a lot of free time on my hands. And if you are not new here, welcome back, sister. Hope everything's going good for you now that I have thoroughly embarrassed myself and probably gave anyone watching secondhand embarrassment. Let's get into this video. I'm sure you can tell from the title. This is a Q&A life update type of video. So I will be answering questions that you guys left either in my DMs or commented on my last Instagram photo. So let's just get into this because I don't want this to be 8 million years. So the first question I got, I'm probably going to be going from newest to oldest just because that's how I'll be seeing it, is what camera do you use? I'm in the market for a new camera. XOXO, love your channel. Thank you so much. I use a Sony Alpha 5000. I highly recommend it. I love it. Super easy to use, super intuitive. I don't have to manually put in a lot of settings. It just intuitively knows lighting-wise, focus-wise, all that jazz. A lot of these questions have to do with med school, so I think I'm going to address that now. If you guys know, may not know, if you're new, I don't know. I have a vlog channel with Amanda Louise, YT, love her, she's my BFF, and we have a vlog channel together, and she did post on Instagram something about me going to med school or something about that, and a lot of people saw that, and now they're asking questions about it. And I did want to go to med school, but I kind of changed my mind. If people haven't really looked into the med school doctor type of track, it is a lot of work and a lot of time. So first off, you have to study for the MCATs, which is the test you have to take to get into med school. It's like the SATs for college. You take the MCATs to get into med school. Med school is around 4 years if you graduate on time. And then it is 2 years of residency, which is kind of like an internship if you want to look at it that way. And then a lot of people choose to specialize because that's where the moolah is. So then it's 2 or 3 more years on top of those 6 years. So now you're at about 9 years to specialize. And then you can finally start practicing medicine. So that's about 9 years, and I'm 21, about 22. So if I went to med school, I would be about 31 years old before I even really got going in my career. And then a lot of doctors I've spoken to, they say you don't really make money for the first couple years because you're so busy paying off all the student loans from med school and college that you don't really start actually making money until mid-30s. So I heard that and it kind of broke my heart because I'd wanted to be a doctor for so long, but hearing that, I just decided it wasn't really the path for me. I am not really the type of person that's patient, I guess, and I didn't want to wait to start my life until around 35. That's just not who I am. I kind of see myself established in a career, maybe with a house and cars and, you know, not drowning in student loans by late 20s. I guess I'll address what I want to do now. It is a very, very new field. It's an anesthesiologist assistant. So I guess the best thing I can compare it to is there are nurses for doctors. I would, in a way, be a nurse for an anesthesiologist. So I'm not saying I will be a nurse. I'm not going for nursing. I will be going to get a master's degree in medicine. So I won't be a doctor or I won't be a nurse. It's kind of an in between. There are very, very, very few schools. I think there's only 12 accredited schools in the entire United States that allow you to specialize in that program. So I will have to be applying to a bunch in hopes that I get in. I will also be applying to some graduate schools. I've been looking at, again, I went to UConn, if you guys don't know that, for my undergraduate, and I graduated this month. I graduated like 2 weeks ago. That's so crazy to think about. But I graduated from UConn as an undergrad about 2 weeks ago. I'm looking into UConn for my post-grad in genetic counseling. So I'll also be applying for that. I'll be kind of applying to a bunch of different things. I like to, when anyone asks me about my future or what I have planned, I like to give the analogy of spaghetti when you throw it at the wall and see what sticks. That's my analogy for my life right now. I'm going to be applying to a bunch of different types of things, but I guess in a more general sense, I do want to continue on with my schooling. I do want to get a master's in something. I'm not stopping here. I'm not looking for any permanent type of jobs. I am studying for the GREs, which is for the test for grad school. So I do plan on furthering that. Another question that kind of goes along with that, I guess, is how does your boyfriend feel about it? Love you tons, super proud of you, thank you. So he obviously supports me in absolutely whatever I want to do, and it's really nice because a lot of the schools I want to apply to are in Florida or Georgia, somewhere in the South, and he was kind of always planning on moving to the South, and what his job is or what he wants to do, you could really do anywhere. And a lot of the companies have branches in multiple different states, multiple different cities. So I don't think it'll be hard for him to find something no matter where I end up going. So he's super happy. He's super supportive, looking forward to it. He's been awesome throughout this whole thing. So super nice having like a little cheerleader cheering you on the back. Someone else asked, how often will you see Amanda now? Your videos are awesome, love you. And it's funny because Amanda commented back and said not often enough. So from my house to her house, it is about an hour 30, which is kind of a lot. It does put a little bit of distance between us, but it's nice because it's not too far where we could meet halfway. So it's kind of sad because we won't be seeing each other that often. I mean, we live together. We saw each other every single second of every day. So kind of anything compared to that is not as often as before. But I do have my grad party next weekend, which she hopefully is coming to. And we are going to a Taylor Swift concert in July. So I will be seeing her every now and then, but I'm sure we'll make plans to see each other between then because we are both actually crying at how much we miss each other. Someone asked, how did you and your boyfriend meet? This is a story and a half. So I guess I'll kind of try to summarize it as quickly as possible because I don't want this to be 80 million years. So if any of you watch Joe Santagato on YouTube, he has a series about, it's called Tinder's Finest or something like that. And he goes through and he reads all these people's Tinder bios and they're so funny. And I'm sorry I keep like picking my nose. It's like really itchy. They're so funny. So one night I was procrastinating studying for a test and I was watching that series of videos and dying. And I was talking to Amanda and I was like, are these real or do people Photoshop these? Like, I honestly just don't even know. Are these real Tinder bios? And obviously she's never been on Tinder, so she doesn't know. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna like make a Tinder. It's not gonna be a real one. I'm not gonna go on there for real, which nothing against it. It's just not my type of deal. I just kind of prefer meeting someone in person. I am super outgoing, so that's just not really hard for me. I just kind of can walk up to everyone and be like, hey. So I didn't really think anything of it. I went on Tinder, made a silly Tinder, and my bio was just like, I'm only here for your dogs, or only swipe right if you have a dog. Something funny like that. Nothing too serious. And I was just going through, swiping left on pretty much everybody, just reading their bios, and me and Amanda were laughing so hard at some of the people's bios. They weren't as intense as you see in his video. Obviously, he chooses the most intense ones, so it is quality content and funny, but they were pretty funny. And then I came across my boyfriend's profile and he looked really familiar. I don't know if you guys ever had that happen to you, but you see someone's picture and they look familiar, but you just can't put your finger on where you know them from, or if you really do know them. And also if you've been on Tinder, they don't have people's last names, only their first names. And his Instagram, he doesn't have one, so he didn't have like his Instagram attached to his profile, so I couldn't figure out his last name to really look and see if I knew him or not. So I decided just to swipe right on him because I figured I would maybe message him or he would message me, and I would just kind of ask and be like, I feel like I know you, like blah blah. And then if we never ended up messaging each other, like I said, I wasn't on Tinder for any particular reason, so I wouldn't have been that upset if we didn't end up messaging each other. But funny enough, I swiped right on him. We matched right away. And I was like, I don't know. I didn't think like, ooh, something's going to happen. I kind of thought like, oh, maybe I do know him. Like maybe he does know me. And that's why he swiped right on me. So we swiped right, we matched, and he immediately messaged me. And I was like, okay, pump the brakes. And he was like, oh, I have a dog, but I can't send you a picture of her because Tinder doesn't allow you to send pictures, which I think is a good call by them because God only knows the pictures that were being sent on Tinder before. And he's like, but I can't send you a picture of her on Tinder. Can I have your number? So I was like, whatever, might as well just give him my number. I'm not, some people are really weird about giving out their numbers. I'm not, just because I have no problem blocking people. I gave him my number and he sent me a picture of his dog, and then I guess we just kind of like kept talking from there. And I kind of figured out where I knew him from. I didn't know him personally, kind of like I thought I did, but we did have like people in common, and the school he went to was my high school's like absolute rival for like any sport. He asked me on a date and I wasn't planning on going just because at the time I was going through a really hard breakup for me. It was just really rough, and it happened, this all happened in maybe November, like mid-November, that I found my boyfriend on Tinder, and my breakup was like August. So I guess it had been, I guess, kind of a decent amount of time. So I was like finally in a good place, like being by myself, being completely single, wanting to be single. And then he came along and asked me on a date, and I was about to say no. And then he was like, you know what, I would love to take you out on a date sometime, blah, blah. And I was all ready to say no. I started like typing it in. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm just like coming out of a breakup and I'm finally in a really good place right now. I just kind of want to ride this out. And Amanda looked over and she was like, no, 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 because she had seen me pretty sad for a while. So she was like, no, you need something healthy. You need to get out there, maybe have a nice date, and if nothing comes of it, then whatever, no harm, no foul. You got free food, like you met a new person, oh well. But she was like, you really need to push yourself and get out there again. And I was like, I guess you're right, like free food can't really hurt. And it's really funny because if you guys watch our vlogs, it was probably, the vlog's name, it's Vlogmas 2, and it's called How to Apply Fake Lashes. And if you guys watch more towards the end, Amanda comes into my room and she's like, Sam's going on a date tonight. Like, she's gonna have fun. And I was just like getting ready. And then I came back and she was like talking about how my date went. That's who I was going on a date with. Any of you were curious watching it, I mean, probably not, but if you're curious watching it, I usually love knowing the kind of behind the scenes of people's vlogs or even videos and why they say things. I don't know why, I'm just a really nosy person. So if you're nosy too, in that video when I'm talking about going on a date, when I actually leave, my boyfriend that was our first date. That's who I was going on the date with. And I mean, the rest is history. If you have more questions about that, feel free to ask and I'll do another Q&A, but that's just kind of talking about like how we met. So there you go. Do not discount Tinder, ladies, okay? Someone asked me, where do you see yourself in 10 years? I think this kind of was answered by when I talked about school and stuff, hopefully establish in a career by then. I would have loved to have bought and invested in a house. I am crazy, and I know this, but I would love to get married young-ish. My idea is I would love to be engaged by 24-ish, anywhere in between now and from when I am about to turn like 25, and then married no longer than a year after that. Not a huge stickler to that, but that's kind of where I would like to see myself in 10 years. Someone asked, what's your favorite quote to think about when you're feeling down or not motivated? I'm not a big quote person, but I do have, I guess, like one or two that I really like. I guess the first one is just it sounds so cliche and it's so common and like everyone probably says it 5 times a day, but just the like general idea or quote, everything happens for a reason. Truly, 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 I do believe it does. With all of my heart, soul, being, I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I guess another one, again, super cliche, but I kind of follow it too, is it's like, what is it? It's like, do whatever sets your soul on fire. And I truly believe that our lives are so incredibly short and you need to do what you love. One last question, will you and Amanda still vlog even if you're not together anymore? Absolutely, yes, absolutely. So that'll probably start this coming weekend, I think, and we'll start that back up again. I want to thank you guys so much for sending me your questions. Your guys' support, especially since I am such a small channel, is so amazing. I cannot even express to you how appreciative I am of you guys commenting, supporting, liking, watching, subscribing, etc. So I love you guys so much. Again, thank you for your support, and I will see you guys in the next video.